I'm an herbalist, and I've studied plants and natural remedies for the past 20 years. I got my undergraduate degree at McGill University, my master's at the University of Oregon, and my PhD at Prescott College. But I was never afraid of dirt time. I've studied plants on the savanna and have lived and worked with one of the last remaining San Bushman tribes of the Kalahari.
In 2015, I was among the first women to be selected for the History Channel's TV show, Alone. I then went on to survive for 57 days straight in the wild, with little more than my knife and the plants that I found there. But what I'm probably known best for is making powerful remedies. For people with autoimmune disorders, for people who have been taking pills for years with little to no effect, for people who are tired of dealing with the countless side effects of drugs, for people who can't afford or don't want to pay hundreds of dollars to Big Pharma each month, for people who want to be prepared for a crisis when the pharmacies run dry and they're not able to refill their prescriptions, and for people who just want to live a healthier life. I've helped thousands of people treat themselves naturally after following my advice and taking my remedies. In most cases, that advice can be boiled down to just 3 teachings that will change your life forever and put you on the path to healing yourself.
In the first lesson, you'll discover the one most important thing you should never take for granted, but you probably do. It almost killed me. As you look at me right now as I'm talking to you, you can't see it, but I have a terrible and incurable disease. When the first symptoms appeared, I didn't give them much credence. I was just 29 when I started feeling tired all the time. I would lose my balance every now and then, and I felt some tingling in my feet. Then, one day, as I was flying home to see my parents, all of a sudden, I lost my eyesight in one eye. I remember I was in my seat panicking and constantly rubbing my eye, thinking it's just something that would go away. The doctors did an MRI and said I had a clear-cut case of multiple sclerosis, a crippling autoimmune disease. They put me on medication, a lot of medication. I was injecting myself every day, but my disease was only getting worse. Soon, I couldn't go to work anymore. I was slowly losing control of my own body. My disease kept me bedbound most of the time. On good days, I could still walk using a cane. I bought a house that was wheelchair accessible. The expectations were that I would be in a wheelchair the rest of my life in the best case scenario. I was continuously in pain. It was agonizing. It often felt like I was being burned with a cigarette lighter. But the fear of having to depend on others for simple things like going to the toilet was even worse. This was supposed to be my new life, the new normal. Life changes when you get sick. Like it or not, sooner or later you will face something similar. Everything you thought was important suddenly takes a back seat. Your priorities shift, but they shift to where they should have been all along. It's ironic that our health seems more valuable only after we lose it. Without it, we have nothing. Imagine this. If you could heal yourself from a crippling disease, would you spend everything you have for a life-saving treatment? I know I would. Everything else can be rebuilt. Instead, we spend most of our time trying to make more money and almost no time preserving our health. It's only once we are in a hospital bed or sick at home that we appreciate it. But then it will be too late. Tomorrow, your life might change completely. You don't know. There's no escape from it. Isn't it better to have this knowledge at your fingertips than not have it when you need it the most? This is the kind of book that even if you use it only once in your entire life, that one time may be all that matters. Treating yourself with chemicals and drugs will hurt your inner doctor, and it will also increase the risk of getting lots of other diseases, including cancer. Here is what is written on the patient information leaflet of the all-time best-selling drug in the USA. For children and adults taking TNF blockers, including Humira, the chance of getting lymphoma or other cancers may increase. There have been cases of unusual cancers in children, teenagers, and young adults using TNF blockers. Some people have developed a rare type of cancer called hepatosplenic T-cell lymphoma. This type of cancer often results in death. Not all pills have such frightening side effects, but in the long run, they all have the same side effect. They kill our capacity to heal ourselves. It's so easy just to pop pills these days without ever thinking what happens later. But now that you have an alternative, I say you don't have an excuse anymore. I printed the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies in a limited edition, so the only promise I can really make is that you'll get one if you order now. I really don't know if at this moment there are any more copies available. If you're still able to see the order button below this video, then it means I still have at least one copy left. Just scroll down, and if you see the button, click on it before they're all gone. You have a full 60 days to try the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. If at any time during those 60 days you are not completely satisfied with the results, send us an email and we'll give you back every cent. It's as simple as that. Also, if you use the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies to replace current drugs and don't end up saving at least $37, we'll send you a full refund, no questions asked. That's my personal guarantee to you. Think for yourself, act according to your own judgment, and learn to depend on yourself for you and your family. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies is just a tiny but very important bit of knowledge we need to pass on to our children and grandchildren. The knowledge of plants will soon be lost forever if we don't do something about it. Thank you for watching. Many blessings.